Kaole Heat. A prose summary of the novel. In the choking heart of Eastlands, where the air smells of smoke, sewage, and sorrow, rises Kaole, a restless ghetto city that never truly sleeps but merely groans between gunshots and gospel. Here, the sun seems to bleed through a haze of exhaust fumes and burning dump site smoke, painting the skies in a melancholic red, like a wound that never heals. The people of Kaole live in a paradox, breathing life in a place that stinks of death, chasing dreams in alleys paved with despair, and smiling through cracked lips of hunger and hopelessness. Kaole Heat is a searing urban epic that captures the grim poetry of survival amid the grinding jaws of poverty and insecurity. It unravels the intertwined destinies of Nairobi's forgotten children, street boys and girls who dwell in the belly of dust and diesel, alongside the new age youths of Generation Z, who, armed with smartphones, beats, and boundless audacity, decide to rewrite the narrative of the slums. At the novel's heart stand Tafari, a sharp-eyed street philosopher who scavenges both metal and meaning from the garbage heaps, Mora, a runaway girl with a voice that drips honey and heartbreak, Kiro, a reformed pickpocket-turned-breakdancer, and Zara, a social media influencer from the nearby Don home, who becomes the unexpected bridge between the ghetto and the glittering world beyond. The story unfolds in Kaole's labyrinthine streets, an unholy orchestra of Matatu madness, hooting horns, and the hawkers' horse hymns. There, chaos reigns supreme. Lines snake through narrow alleys like wounded serpents, children with cracked feet chase after dreams as elusive as the wind. The dump site burns day and night, coughing black smoke that kisses the clouds and stains them grey. The air itself feels tired, suffocating under the heavy sighs of the neglected and the forgotten. Yet, even in this inferno of destitution, a spark of defiance glows. It begins with Project Kaole Talanta, a brainchild of a few visionary Generation Z elites, university graduates, tech-savvy dreamers, poets, and vloggers, who refuse to let hopelessness be the anthem of their birthplace. They bring with them cameras, microphones, and courage, setting out to transform the street children into stars. The project begins humbly on a makeshift stage beside a dump site, where Tafari spits raw poetry about survival, Mora sings about the rain that never cleanses the ghetto, and Kiro's acrobatics defy both gravity and fate. Soon, the world begins to listen. Through viral clips and social media streams, the sound of Kaole, its rhythm, resilience, and raw artistry, spills across Nairobi, then Kenya, and beyond. Donors arrive. NGOs awaken. Talent scouts fly in like vultures that, for once, bring hope instead of hunger. The narrative shifts. The same streets once patrolled by bandits and junkies now host rehearsals, rap battles, and dance-offs. Children who once fought over scraps now compete over verses and choreography. The irony is haunting. Kaole, once Nairobi's womb of street urchins, now becomes the cradle of rising stars. However, the heat never truly fades. The forces of decay and resistance still lurk like shadows behind neon-lit dreams. Politicians, sensing publicity, hijack the movement. Corrupt police officers, those ghosts in uniform, harass the performing youths, branding them idlers. The dump site still burns, coughing its ashen prayers to the indifferent heavens. Mothers still sell their dignity for supper. And in the silent corners, drug lords whisper promises darker than night. But the human spirit proves harder to kill than the rats that dance on Kaole's rooftops. When Mora's haunting voice makes it to a global stage in America's Got Talent, she becomes not just a singer but a symbol, a phoenix rising from the soot of Kaole. Her performance, a soul-stirring blend of Swahili lullabies and street chants, moves the world to tears. The applause echoes across continents, bouncing back into the narrow alleys of her childhood, where barefooted children now mimic her name in melody and dream. Through her victory, the narrative of an entire generation changes course. The Kaole heat, the suffocating tension of crime, poverty, and decay, transforms into the heat of hope, the burning desire to live, to create, to defy oblivion. The novel's language simmers with contradictions, light blooming in darkness, laughter born of pain, and beauty found in the ruins. It is both an elegy for the forgotten and a celebration of resilience. Its metaphors breathe, its streets speak. Kaole itself becomes a living organism, its smoke like breath, its sewage like tears, its matatus like veins pulsing with unruly life. By the novel's close, the reader witnesses a metamorphosis, a ghetto once written off as a wasteland becoming a nursery of dreams. The talent search has not erased poverty, but it has painted over despair with rhythm, rhyme, and resolve. The children of the dump site now walk with rhythm in their steps, light in their eyes, and stars in their dreams. And though the heat still hangs heavy in the Kaole air, sweltering, oppressive, unrelenting, it now carries not just the stench of struggle but the fragrance of change. For Kaole has learned to dance with its own demons. It has learned to sing amid smoke. It has learned to rise, like music, from its own ashes. In essence, Kaole Heat is a poetic testament to urban resilience, an ode to the unbroken human spirit that refuses to be suffocated by the fumes of suffering. It mirrors the eternal paradox of Kaole itself, a hell with a heartbeat. A slum aflame with talent. A furnace that burns, yes, but also purifies. About the author. ELEGWAH'S, a polymath of letters whose craft has been honed on the whetstone of pedagogy and the crucible of literature, stands as a titan of contemporary Kenyan fiction. For decades, he has navigated the treacherous currents of social justice and the hallowed landscapes of cultural heritage with a steady hand. His narratives, stitched with the intricate threads of native wisdom and the universal echoes of the human condition, resonate far beyond geographical boundaries. This literary colossus, ELEGWAH'S, will unveil Kaole Heat novel to the world in August 2026, a work poised to take its rightful seat at the global table of contemporary literature. For international media inquiries, review copies, or interview requests, please contact Facebook, ELEGWAH'S, Instagram, ELEGWAH'S, Twitter at ELEGWAH'S, WhatsApp, ELEGWAH'S, YouTube at ELEGWAH'S Planet Archives 137, TikTok at ELEGWAH'S, email symbol oscarverdi81@gmail.com. Telephone receiver +25472477392 +25476223835.